You've likely seen the competing claims. On one side, ceramic utility knives that promise to stay perfectly sharp 10 times longer than metal. On the other, rugged steel tools sold on their absolute unbreakable durability. Evaluating these tools requires looking past the marketing and understanding the strict physical trade-off at work. You have to choose between extreme material hardness and structural flexibility. Hard materials hold a sharp edge incredibly well because they don't deform under friction. But that rigidity comes with a severe penalty. If you drop it onto a concrete floor or twist it in a tight space, the material cannot absorb the impact. It simply shatters. Softer metals, like standard steel, handle that exact same impact by bending or denting instead of breaking. The trade-off is that the edge rolls over and wears down during normal use, requiring constant friction management and sharpening. There is no single, flawless material that handles every task in every industry. Instead of comparing the blades directly against each other, we have to evaluate the environments where these blades actually operate. Mastering your tool selection means matching the physical limits of the material to the physical risks of your workspace. To measure edge longevity, we rely on the Mohs Hardness Scale, which grades a material's resistance to scratching. This chart maps the maintenance a blade requires against its physical durability. Ceramic ranks at an 8.2 on the Mohs scale, placing it firmly in the bottom left quadrant. Because it is so hard, it rarely needs sharpening, maintaining its edge up to 10 times longer than standard metals. Ceramic is also chemically neutral. It's immune to rust and won't trap organic odors when working with moisture and acid. But look at the durability axis. That extreme hardness translates to extreme brittleness. Ceramic is highly sensitive to lateral torque and blunt impacts. When you inevitably chip a ceramic blade, you cannot repair it with a standard whetstone. The tool is ruined and the blade has to go in the trash. This restricts ceramic to highly controlled environments. It excels at repetitive, straight slicing on soft cutting mats or in laboratories where chemical neutrality is a strict requirement. Choosing ceramic means trading all structural resilience in exchange for absolute edge purity. Standard stainless steel sits much lower on the Mohs scale, usually landing between a 4 and a 6. Looking at our quadrant chart, steel lands on the opposite extreme. Because it's softer, the metal flexes, surviving drops and industrial prying. However, this flex comes with vulnerabilities. Exposure to moisture, salt, and acids rapidly degrades the edge through oxidation. To keep a steel blade safe and functional, you have to adopt strict drying protocols or frequently swap out the dull blades for fresh ones. This maintenance burden is exactly what drove King C. Gillette to patent the disposable double-edged steel blade in the early 1900s. Early industrial manufacturing scaled this concept, creating a system where workers could rely on mass-produced steel replacements rather than losing time sharpening tools every day. Steel remains the mandatory choice for dynamic, heavy-impact work. A bent blade might cause a minor workflow delay, but a shattered blade on a factory floor creates a severe safety hazard. We see the friction between long-term durability and daily convenience most clearly in the personal grooming ecosystem. The modern default is to embed multiple highly thin steel blades inside a disposable plastic housing. This locks the user into buying proprietary plastic cartridges that wear out quickly and pile up in landfills. The alternative is the traditional double-edged safety razor. By relying on a solid metal handle, you gain lifetime structural durability and avoid cartridge lock-in entirely. The catch is the maintenance. You take on the responsibility of managing the moisture, ensuring the raw steel blade stays dry so it doesn't rust between uses. This is where ceramic re-enters the ecosystem, not as the cutting tool, but as the environmental barrier. Heavy ceramic stands and shaving scuttles organize to steel tools, elevating them and isolating them from the sitting water on a bathroom counter. An optimal setup is often a hybrid. You utilize the structural strength of a steel tool for the actual work and rely on the environmental immunity of ceramic accessories for storage. This decision tree maps out the tool you need based entirely on the risks of your workspace. It starts with one core question. Are you working over hard concrete floors or applying lateral prying force to the blade? If yes, you need the flex of industrial stainless steel, backed by a routine of frequent blade replacements. If impact isn't a risk, are you performing repetitive, clean slices in an area with reactive chemicals or strong odors? If that matches your environment, ceramic is the definitive choice. It guarantees absolute hygiene and massive edge longevity. Finally, what if your primary workspace is the bathroom sink? That scenario demands a hybrid approach, a heavy steel double-edged razor to perform the cut, paired with rust-proof ceramic storage to manage the water. Edge retention and structural durability are opposing physical forces. Finding the right tool means ignoring the broad marketing claims and buying specifically for the hazards of the room you're standing in.